Shama Christian Center, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. And right here at Shama, where God's Word works wonders, this month I'm declared as our month of open heavens and open doors. And today I'll be talking to you briefly about open heavens for raising healthy families. Open heavens for raising healthy families. And our point of reference or our focus for a healthy family will be the family of Abraham. We'll talk about Abraham. We'll talk about 4 things that Abraham did for his family that moved from one generation to another and ensured that his family always enjoyed open heavens. You must have heard about the God of Abraham. That was also the God of Isaac. That was also the God of Jacob. The family of Abraham seemed to have a particular kind of access to God that no other family in the Bible had. And they were able to maintain it from generation to generation. So from the time Abraham is mentioned in Genesis chapter 12 up to the end of the Bible, you keep hearing about the family of Abraham. When you hear about the Israelites, they are from the family of Abraham. Israel was a grandson of Abraham. Israel was the other name for Jacob, who was the son of Isaac, who was the son of Abraham. So there must be something about this family that made the family very unique. And that's what I'll be talking to you about today. And in case you're in Port Harcourt, you're in the city of Port Harcourt, you want to join us in one of our Shama services. Our first at 7 o'clock, second is at 8:30 a.m. You can get the address somewhere on the screen. It's at my 4 Port Harcourt Shama Christian Center. So let's get on into it now. Open heavens for raising healthy families. Now, what is a family? A family is a group of people that are closely related by blood. So one way or another, they are born. People form a family by being born into the family. People find themselves in a family. So they are closely related by blood. That means someone gave birth to someone, or someone's brother or sister or something like that. That's what a family is. Now what's open heavens? Open heaven means unrestricted access to God or heavenly things. Unrestricted access to God and heavenly things. That's what open heaven means in a nutshell. So a family that is healthy can get that way by people working it out. One of the ways a family can be healthy, one of the ways to maintain a healthy family is by having open heavens, by the family having access to heaven. Now, what's a healthy family? I'll give you 4 definitions or 3 definitions of a healthy family. The first is this: a healthy family is a family whose members are not sick in any way. A healthy family is a family whose members are not sick in any way. Of course, from the literal definition of health, health is a state of no sickness. Number 2 definition I want to give for a healthy family is that a healthy family is a family that is united and cooperate together to achieve their common goals. A healthy family is a family that is united and cooperates together to achieve their common goals. In Mark chapter 3 verse 25, Jesus said this. He said, "A house divided against itself shall not stand." Any family that is not united and divided against itself, that family cannot stand. That's not a healthy family. The third definition I want to give for a healthy family is that a healthy family is a family whose members live in love and operate by faith. And that will bring us to the family of Abraham. A healthy family is a family whose members live in love and operate by faith. They live in love and they operate by faith. That's a healthy family. And we're going to go straight to the family of Abraham. But why did we pick Abraham out of all the families in the Bible? Okay, let's trace this. Now, from the beginning, when God created the human race, he started with one man. His name was Adam. And then he created a woman. He got a rib out of Adam and made him sleep in Genesis chapter 2. And from the rib, he created a woman. So Adam, the human race had 2 versions, the male version and the female version. But before then, every man was placed in one man. Everybody in the human race was in one person named Adam. And then God brought out the woman from him, and that was Eve. So from Adam and Eve, every family on earth was extracted, maybe it was extracted. Every family on earth came out from that one family. Now, the family of Adam and Eve, they had two children initially. The first was a boy, his name was Cain. The second was another boy, his name was Abel. And these were the first two people that were born on the earth. And their father and mother, Adam and Eve, had just these two children. So they were the only brothers on earth. They had no sisters. They had no other brothers. Only four people on earth. Only one family on earth, the family of Adam. Of that family, God created, when God created man, God created mankind, his plan was that man will have the dominion mandate. Man will take charge over the earth and control the earth the way God controls heaven. And that's the first thing God said to man in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. After God had a meeting with God, the Godhead had a meeting and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth. So God created man in his own image, verse 27. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps or that creepeth upon the earth. So God's original plan was to have his family on earth, controlling the earth as he was taking charge in heaven. So this family of Adam and Eve, God started the family in the Garden of Eden. God planted the garden and put the family there, because the family will need food. And then he told the family to take care of the garden, told Adam to take care of the garden. And so they were supposed to eat from there, feed from there, and then raise a family that would extend and take over the whole earth. But Adam sinned, Eve sinned, and then God had to send them out of the Garden of Eden. So they had to raise their family outside the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was a place where they enjoyed the presence of God. It was a place where they had everything they needed in life. Everything they needed was in that garden. All the food they needed was in that garden. The medicine they needed was in that garden. In fact, they didn't need to fall sick because the food was already medicinal. If you eat the right things, they ate the right things, they live long. In those days, they lived for 900 and something years. Why? They were taking the right quantity of the right kind of food and everything that they needed to have a good life, a pleasant life, fresh air. Everything was okay right there in the garden. When they sinned, God had to chase them out of the garden, so they had to raise their family outside. So Adam and Eve raised their family outside the Garden of Eden. They gave birth to children. Eve gave birth to the first one, Cain, as mentioned earlier, and then Abel. And then one day, Cain and Abel, they wanted to offer offering to God. They wanted to give God an offering. Cain was a farmer. He was a crop farmer. So he brought from the crops to come and give his offering to God. Abel was taking care of animals. So he brought some of the animals to come and give an offering to God. And then Cain had open heavens. Abel did not. God accepted, I beg your pardon, Cain did not have open heavens. Abel had open heavens. God accepted Abel's offering, and then, but Cain's offering was rejected. So Cain got angry. Cain was jealous. And so Cain had a conversation with his brother and told him to come to the field. When they got to the field, Cain killed his brother. And so the first family on earth that was supposed to take charge of the earth has already gotten into crisis. The first two brothers on earth, the elder killed the younger. You can imagine the sorrow in the heart of Adam and Eve, that their family that was supposed to be fruitful, that was supposed to be together, was no longer together. God caused Cain, so Cain had to be a fugitive. So now Adam and Eve had lost their two children. Cain ran away from home. So one child had run away from home, the other had been killed, murdered in cold blood by his brother. And so Adam and Eve were back to square one. It was just Adam and Eve, no children. They had to start afresh. I want to imagine that. They were the only humans on the earth, they had to start afresh. Why Cain had to run away somewhere to start afresh somewhere? Do you understand what was happening? So God's mandate was not being done. That first family failed. The family of Adam and Eve failed. They failed. Why? They didn't have open heavens. They lost access to heaven. Why? One of the brothers, because his offering was not accepted by God, instead of him to make amends, and God even came to him and spoke to him and told him, if you do well, I will accept your offering. Instead of him to make amends, he got jealous and killed his brother. How many families do you know today that are being destroyed by jealousy? How many families do you know today that somebody's success makes others jealous and try to pull the person down? It's happening all over the world. So that house, like Jesus said in Mark 3:27, Mark 3:25, said the house divided against itself cannot stand. So the family of Adam and Eve could not stand. But God was still searching for a family on earth to fulfill his mandate on this earth. So for years, Adam and Eve, they got other children, and they would give birth to other children, and they were raising different families. So God was looking for a righteous family. God was looking for a family that will have direct access to heaven. God was looking for a family that will want to carry out his intention on earth. So there was a lot of wickedness in the world, and family after family failed God. Finally, in Genesis chapter 8, chapter 7, thereabout, chapter 6, from Genesis chapter 6, God found a righteous man on the earth. God wanted to destroy the world because all the families had failed him. All the families were committing sin. They were doing the opposite of what God wanted on the earth. God wanted man to be fruitful and to take charge of the earth and to establish his heavenly kingdom right here on earth. To take charge of the earth as he was in charge in heaven. So when all these families failed, what did God do? God decided to destroy the whole earth because the earth was not fulfilling the purpose. The human beings he created in his image, we are now living in sin. They were committing all kinds of wickedness, killing each other, destroying each other. Everything was going wrong. In Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, God said he repented, he felt bad, he regretted creating man. Why? Because the only intention in the heart of man, the only imagination man had was to do evil continually. So God said, I will destroy mankind, I will destroy the earth. But God found a family, the family of Noah. So God speaks to Noah, tells Noah to build an ark, and then get at least two of all the animals on earth into the ark, that there was going to be a flood. It had never rained on earth in those days. There was going to be a flood, it was going to rain, and it would destroy the whole world. And so God destroyed the whole world and started afresh from the family of Noah. So only 8 human beings survived the flood. It rained on earth for 40 days and 40 nights. We read this account in Genesis chapter 6, Genesis chapter 7, and Genesis chapter 8. It rained continuously on the earth non-stop for 40 days and 40 nights until a flood was formed on the earth, and the flood covered even the mountains, and it destroyed every human being. Every living thing was destroyed. Only Noah, his wife, Noah's 3 children, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their 3 wives. Only 8 of them survived, and they were the only human beings in the ark alongside the animals. So the whole world was destroyed. God started afresh with that family. So after 150 days, that's 5 months, the waters remained on the earth. And God has stopped the rain, so the water began to dry until they found out that it had dried. On the first day of the 10th month, the top of the mountain we are seeing. And then Noah found the ark of Mount Ararat, and they came out of the ark eventually and started the human race afresh and continued. So God started with that poor family. God was still trying to fulfill his mandate on the earth, getting a family that he will use to bring more blessings on the earth and make them fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So from the descendants of Noah, people started going back to sin again. People started doing what they wanted to do. At the time they gathered together, they wanted to build a tower that would get to heaven. That was not God's plan. God wanted man to stay on the earth and take charge of the earth. But these people gathered together. You find the story in Genesis chapter 11. And they were speaking one language, and they wanted to build a tower that would get to heaven, which was not God's plan. So God had to come down and confuse their language. He wanted to spread and take charge over the earth. So by Genesis chapter 12, God found a man that we're going to use to start another family, and that came Abraham. So that's where Abraham came into the picture. So God speaks to Abraham in Genesis chapter 12. He said, I want you to leave your father's house, leave your kindred, leave your people for a land I will show you. And I would make of you a great nation. I want to raise a great nation out of you, and in you shall all families of the earth be blessed. So God starts another family from Abraham. But Abraham, his name was Abraham. Abraham, A-B-R-A-M, means exalted father. This man had a wife. Her name was Sarai, and that means princess, and she was barren. He had no son. So God starts a new family from Abraham. Abraham. His name was later changed to Abraham. So we'll continue from here tomorrow in the next edition of this program. So I want you to keep tuning in, and let's go through the story. Don't forget, our focus is open heavens for raising healthy families. And at the end of this, you see how to raise a healthy family and how your family can continually have open heavens. Once again, my name is Dr. Paul-Obelley, Shama Christian Center, Port Harcourt. I'm signing out for today. Join me again for another edition of Shama Experience. Same time tomorrow. God bless you.
Bless you.